Ooh, what's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So, we got some funny bars coming in a hot second from Papa Clarke, boss man, top man Clarke. I can't gonna lie, it's a bit of a violation. What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. In fact, no, let me start again. What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Back once again with another violation. I'm not sure how to work that in. Back, it's your man, the YB, back with another. Either way, trust me, it's a violation, people. Topper violates is you there. That's what you best believe. He don't mean to be a violation, but when you read between the lines, it's a violation. Anyway, before we get to that, Clarke and Wardley have weighed in now. Clarke stunts a £23 weight advantage. Wardley was 243. Clarke must be what, 266 then. It's not going to mean nothing then, yeah? I recorded this video. I spent 20 minutes talking about this topic and my microphone weren't on. But in that discussion, I ended up going through and watching some of Frazer Clarke's old footage. Sorry, before I made this remake video, I went back to check some of the points I made. And I hate to say it, but I'm right, yeah? And the points I made in the first video that got scratched with a moody microphone. I basically said that Clarke just don't have the... You don't have the whap. You don't have the pop, right? You don't have that Go back and watch any of his fights. I mean, to be fair, he's quite aggressive as such. He's not like a complete fiddler. It's not like a Fury against Vlad type of cat. He tries to. He just ain't got it though. He ain't got no up. He's in there banging away, but he don't seem to do even against bums. He don't seem to have that yip about him. And Wardley has that in bags. Anyway, Topper, Frazer Clarke's dad, elaborates on this point. And inadvertently punks his son. Here we go.
You know, it's the same thing, you know what I mean? But I think it's 50-50 myself.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
I think it's 50-50, that's what I think. I think your boxing skill is better than his. I think you're the boxer, he's the fighter. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree to an extent, but obviously I back myself in any situation. If we get into a fight,
But you got to back yourself.
no one's seen me have a fight yet, have they? So I've not had to have a fight yet.
You got every.
It's funny. Frazer Clarke says Frazer Clarke's dad says, yeah, you got to back yourself because I ain't backing you. Essentially, right? Yeah. So let's walk it through here. Frazer Clarke's dad says, before I play this clip, there's a little bit. He says about another sentence. He says, yeah, Frazer, you were knocking everyone out in the semi-pro division. But I see it as a 50-50 fight. So Frazer Clarke's dad tries his best. Let me just play it. He tries his best, though, to set the scene. And he's almost trying to convince himself, yeah, he was knocking everyone out in the semi-pros. But, you know, FABIO WARDLEY, he with it.
All them people that I love. And
here we go.
for me, this is the king, man, the superhero.
What about in the World Series of Boxing? The World Series of Boxing. Look at your highlight there. You're just knocking people out right, left and centre. You know. So, you know, it's the same thing, you know what I mean? But I think it's 50-50 myself.
Yes, a good fight.
So Frazer Clarke's dad sits there saying, oh, you was knocking everyone. So they're basically talking about knocking people out. And we all know FABIO WARDLEY, the guy who really with it. 95% KO ratio. His KO in the top guys that he's fought so far. Gorman, contenders as such. British contenders certainly. Gorman, Adelaide. So you can see Frazer Clarke's dad's trying to do the paternal thing here. Yeah, you knocked people out 15 years ago in the semi-pros. And then, I respect Frazer Clarke's dad. That's how I want to be. Tell the truth. Yeah, if I think your ass can get what, I tell you that. Hey, it's 50-50. That's the best you can do. As a dad, the best you can do. Yeah? I believe, listen people, it's clear, you heard the bars. Frazer Clarke's pops believes his son is 80-20 down. Yeah? If your dad fixes his mouth to say it's 50-50, aka, no dad's going to tell their son, yeah, you can get your ass torn up. Who would do that? Weeks before the fight. No one can do that. But 50-50 is the next best thing. 50-50 is the only polite thing you can say when you think your son's going to get got. Oh, it's 50-50. I can see both sides. When your dad should never say that. You know what I mean? I respect him for saying it though, because most people come on here, all these dads who are all in the video, oh man, son, he the best, and he gonna do this, he gonna do that. And it's not realistic. I think, at best, this fight is 50-50 for Frazer. So his dad weren't really lying. The best way you could look at this fight, you'd say Frazer Clarke has half a chance. But in reality, if your dad believes you got half a chance, what's that saying? Oh, if you had half a chance and half a chance is out of town. One of them ones. Yeah? The half a chance Frazer Clarke has is out of town. There's a better way of putting that thing, but you get the point. Yeah? There's 2 chances Frazer Clarke has. Half a chance and no chance. And half a chance is out of town. That's the kind of thing, the shtick they put out there. It's like one of them bars. That's what his pops was saying. But listen, I ain't a Frazer Clarke hater. I believe Fabio Wardley's good enough. If Frazer Clarke beats him, man, salute to that guy. I respect him for taking this fight, even though it took a year or whatever. Done now. He gets in the ring. If he beats Fabio Wardley, it only adds to his prestige. No one who knows boxing, I'm a casual, but most people, the bookies included, don't believe he stands a prayer. He's got pretty refined boxing skills. He just don't have the whap I believe you need, being 265 pounds. He doesn't even have that Joe Joyce. In fact, he reminds me to some extent of Joe Joyce. He's much quicker. But Joe Joyce is slow as you like, but he has evidence of breaking down top people. Even if you say Joe Parker wasn't his best. He broke him down. Frazer Clarke, he isn't even breaking down the bums he's fighting. They're not bludgeoned or their face bust up or their body torn up. They look just quite normal. And then he's in there a whack. Marius Whack goes 10 rounds and it's all a bit... His punches are dull. And Fabio Wardley has that in bags. He has the whap, the athleticism. Frazer Clarke's not slow, but Wardley's quick and nasty. And people say, well, Frazer Clarke said, if Fabio comes running in, I'm going to make him pay for it. I don't know if he's got that in him, though. If Fabio Wardley comes warding in, which I don't believe he will do, or if he does, he'll be doing it intelligently. He's got Ben Davis in there now. He's not a stupid fighter anyway. Can he be over tenacious? Maybe, but even if he does, I'm not sure Frazer Clarke can knock him out. Frazer Clarke catches bums clean and ain't knocked out. That's why his dad have to talk about semi-pros. That was the last time he's been devastating, allegedly. I haven't watched it, but... Right? His dad should be talking about, well, you've knocked out everyone you fought, all the bums you fought so far. He can't say that. If you can't tear up Marius Whack, who's a pretty solid guy, but if you should be at this level, for example, people, what do you think Fabio Wardley would do with Whack? He'd get battered, put it to post, devastatingly. He wouldn't put people to sleep, that's for sure. But listen, I've got things wrong before. I was dead sure that Zhang. I'd have said Zhang was a bigger favourite against Parker than Fabio Wardley is against Clarke. So who's to know? And Frazer Clarke's certainly been talking. Bar for bar, yeah? I actually rate... Oh, my moody internet's cut out now. This moody computer's bugging. I actually rate more so the bars from Frazer Clarke over Wardley in this build-up. You know, Fabio Wardley kind of let the ball slip, in my opinion, when he did too much with he missed the opportunity. Yeah, he put Frazer Clarke on his shirt and said, oh, who's your daddy? Good bar. But he missed the ball when he missed the twerking thing. I've done a bunch of videos on it, pause. We know Frazer, he would have twerked, he liked to twerk. Fabio Wardley should have put Frazer Clarke on his shirt with his booty out. That would have been a smasher. So the fact that Fabio missed that point and the way that Frazer Clarke's been talking, it's kind of like I'm not sure what you call it. It's a contrast though. Fabio, he doesn't have vicious bars, but he fights vicious. Frazer Clarke, certainly in this respect, has the vicious bars, and we ain't seen so much of it. Frazer Clarke alleges, I'm going to show you something. I haven't needed to show you. I'm coming aggressive. And that's why I love what fights are. We get to see it. Is Frazer Clarke just talking? We're fixing to find out. Anyway, let's get to this bit here, because this here is some of the example I'm talking about when I say that Frazer Clarke has fighter bars. Here we go.
Well, I think so, yeah. Possibly. You know what? He's got a longer record.
Do you think he's a favourite?
Hit yourself. I'll punch his head in. I can outbox him. I can swing it with him. It's not either one's not an issue. Because I think he's banging on the fact that he's got this heart and this punch power. We've both got heart.
Are you the favourite?
Yeah.
Frazer Clarke goes on to say, we've both got heart, and then Fabio Wardley says, you ain't shown it. And Fabio Wardley's quite intellectual, he says. Based on the evidence we have, I'm with it. There's evidence of me tearing ass up. There's not evidence of you tearing ass up. And that's where I go to, the evidence. But it don't mean nothing, because the evidence was Zhang was going to do something. He did nothing. But in its totality, the odds are right. Bottom line. However, I'd love to be proved wrong. I don't have a stake here. I believe Fabio's the next guy up in British heavyweight boxing, to be honest. But if he's not, if Frazer Clarke's able to get through it, fair play to him. I don't even, that's the thing, there's a chance here that Fabio Wardley touches Frazer Clarke. And Frazer Clarke's like, whoa, I don't fancy that. There's a chance he may opt to politic his way through. He's got the amateur background. Frazer Clarke's cute enough, I believe. He could politic his way to a 12-round decision, which will be a pretty good result against Wardley. I'm the first man since his first fight not to get stopped. That could become his shtick, which is a well-renowned shtick within boxing. Let me just survive and make it 12. Most people get knocked out. I didn't. I'd like to think not. The way Frazer talking is, I'll punch your head in or box your head off. That's a win-win. From every perspective, Frazer Clarke alleges. But from what I've seen from him, I haven't seen the viciousness. People are normally inherently that way. At least until you get your cherry popped. Most boxers, yeah, they're aggressive and then they lose and maybe they fall off. But Frazer Clarke ain't even aggressive when he's winning. Most people are good flat track bullies. They'll beat bums up, look great. Dubois, for example. Dubois, see what I mean? To put Dubois in there with these kind of cats that Frazer Clarke politicking with, he can run through them. Frazer Clarke ain't running through them. So is he able to get a political? Maybe he might not even just politic. Maybe he'll just get. Maybe Frazer Clarke's good enough to get a political win against Fabio. Maybe he doesn't have to have big power. Maybe he can touch and roll and maybe. But he runs out of gas though. For me to see Frazer Clarke win in a political fight, I'd have to believe it in his gas tank. And I'm sorry, but as far as gas tank and athleticism and drive, I got Wardley. But are there levels to boxing? Frazer Clarke said, listen, amateur boxing is riding on my shoulders right now. If I lose this fight, it's over for the amateurs. Let's see how good this amateur shtick is then. Yeah? Let's see how cute it can be. I ain't hopeful. Anyway, the last bar from Frazer Clarke is around 20. Here we go. This one's funny.
Who's the bigger man?
It's a cruiserweight, man. It's a cruiserweight that's trying to eat a lot of food and build himself up, man.
It's even worse for you then. You get beat by a cruiserweight.
So Frazer Clarke says you're a cruiserweight, you're trying to build up. And Fabio does have that slender kind of look to him, but he's 243 end of the day, which historically is a big ass heavyweight. That'd put you in the top echelon. 240 is more like 250 to be fair, but 240 to 250 is a new breed of heavyweights. Before it was 220. Before 230 odd was big heavyweight. Fabio's in the mid 240s, so he ain't a small heavyweight. He's small compared to Frazer, but Frazer, that size does what? It doesn't do power. It doesn't do cardio. So it's big for what? Frazer Clarke, in his fights, he does like to come forward and mingle, but it's the effectiveness of that mingling. Is he cute enough to mingle and keep himself safe from Wardley? I don't see it. I see his head getting leck off, and I see Frazer Clarke considering all the things he's been saying and thinking, oh, I'll just try and make it through this one. But the thing about Wardley is he don't let you off the hook. Adelaide happened to him. Adelaide's a tough dude, a hood dude, allegedly. He gets in there, doing all the rah-rah before the fight, gets in there, has a few rounds and falls off. Didn't want to know anymore and tried putting his guard up and surviving. Wardley ain't with that. Wardley ain't no Canelo carrot top looking ass. Canelo, yeah, he'll hit you once and if you're scared, he'll just politic with you. He ain't hungry to smoke your ass. Fabio, if he gets you hurt, he ain't trying to be, oh well, I've broken him now, let me just make my way through this fight to a W. He'll look and take your head off. Adelaide was trying to survive. He didn't let him off the hook, and I respect that. That's what the game's about. If someone's food, Carrot Top should have knocked out Jamal Charlo, Carrot Top should have knocked out Callum Smith, etc., etc. They were just begging to be touched. He ain't want to put himself out there. Fabio got that. But anyway, bottom line is, we're here now. All my speculation, I've been wrong millions of times before. I can easily be wrong again. The fact of the matter is, whoever wins this fight is going to be a bad dude. I believe it's Fabio Wardley, but if Clarke can do it, salute to him, and I'll eat my words. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and like up the bell 100%, no doubt.